What is good, everyone? This is Max. This is Wealthier by the Day. Day 4, I think. I really need to figure out what day it is before I start the video, huh? But I think it's day 4. The video title will have the right day. But today I have 3 topics I want to cover, kind of similar to yesterday. I like the 3 topic kind of deal. So every day I think I'll pick like 2, 3, 4 topics I want to run over for 10 to 15 minutes. And that's kind of what the day is going to be about. And all those topics are essentially, how you get wealthier by the day and how you eventually achieve financial freedom and eventually retire, whether that's an early retirement or whether that is right on time. Hey, it's all deadly. It's all good stuff. So first today, we're going to talk about, uh, how if you're not currently investing in the stock market, how you can invest your first $10,000 in 1 year, which $10,000 might seem like a lot of money to invest in the market. It might seem like a bit of a stretch, but $10,000 in 1 year is nothing. I'm pretty sure my first year of investing, I put away like $25,000 because I was super aggressive and gung-ho about it. So 1 year, $10,000 in the market. And even if you're already investing in the market, this same strategy will apply. Real easy. The next is how you can earn $100 every week extra, like additional income, an additional $100 every week. And essentially what you could do with that money, which kind of plays into our next point. It's about opening a Roth IRA if you don't currently have one and maxing out that Roth IRA every year. That is currently, actually, I believe the contribution limit got bumped to, if I'm not mistaken, $6,500. I'll have to fact check that. I know it was $6,000. It might be $6,500 now. And I'm just doing this off the cuff. So, don't, yeah, give me a break. That's all I'm trying to say, right? So let's jump into the first point. That is how you can invest your first $10,000 in 1 year, or just invest $10,000 in 1 year. So this is actually quite simple. If you do the math, it's like $10,000 divided by 12 months. Let's say divided by 10 months, just to make things easy. That's $1,000 a month. You add in a couple extra months. Let's say that's, I don't know, $800. Say $800 a month you got to invest into the market. I don't know if the math is totally right. It's a bit of an estimate, but you kind of get where I'm going with this, right? That's let's say $800 a month, right? 1,600. That gets you to 9,600. This is fine. Let's say 850. That should do it. So you're investing $850 a month. Well, typically, how many weeks are in a month? Let's say there's typically 4 weeks in a month, right? Or you could use 52 weeks in a year to do this. But all you really have to do, and I like projecting things over a weekly basis when it comes to investing. Some people might invest monthly. Some people might invest weekly, bi-weekly. Doesn't really matter as long as you are comfortable with the frequency and you are actually going to comply with that frequency. So if you think investing on a weekly basis is just too much of an ask, you don't have time to worry about investing money every single darn week, that's fine. Do it on a bi-weekly basis. Do it on a tri-weekly basis. Do it on a monthly basis. It doesn't really matter. I would say you should be investing at a frequency of at least monthly. That's about as much time as I would let pass. Like you should be somewhat proactive in the sense that you're consistently trying to pump money into the market. Because if you have the goal of pumping money into the market, believe me, you will pump money into the market. It's like, and I'm telling you, you will find a way to get the money to put it in the market. It's when people say, I don't have time for that or I don't have the money for that. It's like you make the time and the money for the things that are important. So if you prioritize the stock market and investing in the market and increasing the amount of money you're investing on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, annual basis, whatever, you'll make it happen. I'm telling you. If it's important, you will make it happen. Bottom line, it's easy as that. It really is. And some of that might have to do with shifting and reprioritizing the way you spend your money. And a lot of that it comes back down to your habits and whether you have, and nothing is good. Everything is good, bad, or indifferent, and it's all based on your relative opinion, right? But it's if you have bad personal finance habits or right money habits, then you might have to reverse some of the habitual trends you've already kind of put into place. And a lot of that comes down to reverse habits. You need to, this is just, I'd love to just talk about this more in depth, but like when there's a habit, it's like, I believe it's cue, routine, and then reward. I'm actually reading a book on this right now. And like basically all you need to do is, the cue is you're going to spend your money, right? So you have $500 and you're like, I want to spend this on something. The routine would be, rather than spending $500 on clothes, you say, I'm going to spend that $500 in the stock market. So you change that routine from buying clothes to investing in the stock market. And then hopefully you're getting a similar reward out of that. And if you do it right, you should be getting much more a reward from investing in the stock market. Oh, I hope this lighting isn't too bad. Is it too sunny? Gosh darn it. Gosh darn it. Let's try that, huh? I don't think that's much better, but if you do it right, your reward should not change that drastically. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I get far greater reward from investing in the stock market than buying some item you got to buy consumables, you got to buy food, you got to buy whatever, but like something that's just a want, like you need to reprioritize the way you're spending your money, bottom line. So, and sorry, that's kind of a tangent, right? But that goes into how you're going to invest your first $10,000 in 1 year, right? Is a big part of it is reprioritizing how you're spending your money. And again, this all goes back to, you need to know your costs. You need to know what you're actually spending your money on in order to reprioritize your spending habits. You need to find, what we say, $850 a month. You're going to have to go find $850 a month somewhere. And if you're the type where you're just saving that $850 a month instead of investing it, well, perfect. You just move it from your savings account into your brokerage account. Easy. But if you're the type where you're, I wouldn't say struggling to get by, but you're not saving a ton, and most of your money is being expensed for, needs, kind of needs or wants, then you're going to have to do some reprioritization of your financial habits, and you might have to do a little bit of soul searching also. Maybe you decide that, hey, I like buying some of the stuff I buy, so I'm not going to invest $10,000 this year. I'm going to invest $8,000. I'm that's your choice. It's called personal finance for a reason, fellas, right? Like, that's totally your choice, and that's fine as long as you can come to terms with that. Everyone has the kind of needs and wants they have that make their life better and more bearable, right? Because everyone, like, if you work a full-time job, it's hard to sacrifice everything and live like a monk when you're like, I'm gonna probably be working this job for the next however many decades. Like, I would like to kind of enjoy my life while I'm doing it, right? That's a huge thing. So anyways, should I get over? Fuck it. That's a huge thing. So, okay, sorry, that took a minute, right? But that's 1 year, $10,000, basically invest about $850 a month. And to figure out how you can invest $850 a month, you need to deep dive into your cost. You need to find that money. Obviously, if you don't have a brokerage account set up, you need to open a brokerage account. I recommend Fidelity. If you're from the US, which I imagine, I don't know, I'm assuming most of my viewers are going to be from the US. I could be totally wrong on that. I don't have analytical information yet. But Fidelity is my go-to. I mean, that's who I invest with. They're privately owned, and I don't know, I love their dashboard is great. Like, the whole user display is great, and you can buy fractional shares of stock. So basically you can buy $100 worth of a stock rather than having to buy X amount of shares. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, that's $10,000 in 1 year. Easy. I mean, my goal is like $20,000 a year. And lately that hasn't been so as achievable, let's say, because expenses come up and life happens, but that's still always my goal. I'm never going to take that number down. I always want to hit that number. That's 5 years, 100 grand invested into the market if you're investing 20 grand a year. So not bad at all. I like it. So that's that. Let's jump into earning $100 extra every week. This is going to require some work on your end, and it's not something that's going to happen right away. It might start with $20 a week. It might start with $50 a week, but I like the $100 a week goal. That's $5,200 a year, 100 times 52 weeks, right? Basic math. I like the $100 a week, though, just because 100 is a good round number, and you're in the triple digits, baby. We're making $100 extra a week. All right. And that $5,200, you could fund your Roth IRA with that, right? You're almost maxing out your Roth IRA just by making $100 extra every week. That's how you should be thinking when it comes to investing. Is, what marginal amount of money can I save or earn on a reoccurring basis, that I can then put towards investing, right? And put a number to it, put an annual figure to it. Go days, weeks, months, years, right? Like that. To me, that's what makes things interesting, and also it puts things in a digestible format that's easy enough to comprehend. So, anyways, but yeah, $100 extra a week. You're gonna say that's not shit. Like me, if I didn't have a baby right now and my wife wouldn't give me such a hard time, I'd go work. I go work with my dad and uncle on the weekends and earn a couple $100 extra, maybe every few weeks. And that's a start, right? So maybe you got to get creative, but that's fine. That's the fun of this, honestly. That's what makes this whole journey fun, right? With personal finance and securing assets and investing in things, is that you get to get creative, and you really got to think, and you make yourself better in general as a person, right? All of these kind of habits that you obtain, and maybe you're working a little harder, all of that ends up translating into different parts of your life. It's not just about personal finance. It's about becoming wealthier in all areas of your life. And the whole wealthier by the day kind of idea is like, well, obviously it's about wealth is money, right? But you could be wealthy in a lot of different ways, right? You could be wealthy in your knowledge or your education, or right. And I mean, to me, knowledge is it's better than money, right? In the long term, the more knowledge you have, the more income you're going to earn. Bottom line, the smarter you are, the more money you'll make. I think that's a pretty safe assumption. Or the more money you could potentially make. Maybe you don't even care for it. Maybe you're like, hey, I earn enough. I'm happy enough doing the other things I like to do in life. But anyways, so $100 a week, get creative. Mow some lawns on the weekend. Find some gig work that you could do. I mean, with gig work, anyone could make $100 extra a week. I mean, my wife does Instacart part-time, probably 15 to 20 hours a week, and she brings in like $500 to $700 a week, I'd say, on average, which isn't a ton of money, right? Like, you're not going to live off of that, but as supplemental income, that's fantastic. Like, hey, I love her for that, right? $500 a week, making me a happy guy. So anyways, it's you got to get creative, but you can find that $100 a week, I'm telling you. Last thing we'll touch on, and this is kind of the last 2 points could kind of tie into this a little bit, is open a Roth IRA. And the reason I say a Roth IRA, well, first, what is a Roth IRA? An IRA is a retirement account where you can hold stocks. So it's very similar to a standard brokerage account, but instead of, there's some key differences. Like in a standard brokerage account, you can buy and sell as frequently as you want at any point in time, and you're going to be subject to short-term capital gains tax and long-term capital gains tax, right? But you can buy and sell as needed. There's no limitations on that. With a traditional IRA, you can buy stock, right, in that account, and I'm pretty sure, I should know this, but I'm pretty sure the Roth and traditional IRAs have the same contribution amount each year. I believe it's $6,500 currently in 2023. But with those accounts, one, you can only contribute so much money. With a standard brokerage account, there's no ceiling. You can invest as much money as you want, as you possibly can, into that account. And secondly, with the retirement accounts, the Roth IRA and the traditional IRA, you cannot withdraw that money until you are 55 and a half years of age or older without having some kind of penalty from withdrawal. So basically, if you're putting your money into a Roth or traditional IRA, just be ready not to touch the money until you're 55 and a half. Meaning you should not be putting money into there that you're going to need anytime soon for the vast majority of people, because you're probably not anywhere close to being 55 and a half. If you are close to 55 and a half, then by all means put it in there, because you might be able to withdraw it a little sooner than the vast majority. And I mean, you're probably not going to get huge returns, right? Because it's only going to be in that account for a marginal amount of time. But if that's part of your plan and your strategy and it works for you, so be it. That's your plan. So that's the big difference between the two. Okay, now the big difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA, and this is huge, and I prefer Roth IRA because of this difference, is with a traditional IRA, you are contributing, essentially you're contributing pre-tax dollars into this account. And what will happen is you'll get a tax deduction from the IRS if you live in the U.S. Again, this is only applicable to people in the U.S. This is my experience. I live in the U.S., so this is what I'm drawing from, right? So I'm sorry if this doesn't apply to you. If you want it to apply to you, move to the U.S. and find a way to become a citizen. I don't know how all that works, to be honest. But with the Roth, so with the traditional option, you're putting in pre-tax money essentially. But when you go to take that money out when you're 55 and a half, or whenever you choose to take that out, you're going to be paying capital gains tax on all of that because you were putting the money in pre-tax, if that makes sense. And you're also going to pay taxes on dividends, I believe. I believe that's the way it happens. It's similar to a standard brokerage account, right? Like, you're going to be paying long-term capital gains tax on all of that, which sucks. I'm not like, that's stupid. So instead, with the Roth option, you pay taxes after, you pay taxes on the, like, you put your income into that account post-tax, and you don't get a deduction from the IRS for putting money into that account. But that money grows tax-free, and you can pull it out tax-free. So once you pay taxes on that money that's going into that Roth IRA, you do not have to pay taxes on it ever again, which is huge, because just think about inflation, tax rates increasing over time. These are two things that are just getting worse and worse historically from what we've seen. So why not pay taxes on that money now? I'm telling you, pay taxes on that money now, because you stand to make much, much more money in the long run, and you don't have to deal with the hassle of even worrying about paying taxes on that money. It just makes everything so much cleaner. So that's why, if you're going to invest in a retirement account, like that, I guess isn't through work, which there's also Roth 401k options. So if you have that option through your work, go with a Roth 401k and not a traditional 401k. Same principle as traditional IRA versus Roth IRA. You do that, I'm telling you. You pay the money up front, and then you never have to worry about it again. You don't have to worry about the taxes. So, yes, Roth IRA, way to go. Roth IRA for the win. I can't believe how many times I've just said IRA. So those were the 3 points today. We touched on investing your first $10,000 in 1 year, or investing, I guess, an additional $10,000 in 1 year. Either way, it's both cool. The next point was $100 of additional income on a weekly basis. And that's something that seems very doable for the vast majority, in my opinion. Like, if you get creative and you're willing to work a little bit for it, and $100 a week, let's face it, that's not a ton of money. However, that is money that could fuel your investments, that's the important part, right? That's the part we care about, is the money that can fuel your investment accounts. Sorry, I'm merging, and California highways are a goddamn mess right now, at least where I live in Sacramento. I'm telling you, it's a nightmare. Anyways, so that's $100 of extra income every week. And put in the comments below if you have any, I guess, tips or good ways to do that, because I'm always looking for ways to make extra money. Everyone should be. And then the last point we had was the Roth IRA. Roth IRA and also Roth 401k, but open, like anyone can open a Roth IRA. So just open one. And even if you're not maxing it out every year, even if you're putting $1,000, $2,000 into it, just do it. It's a good start, and you can always have the goal of maxing it out. So anyways, this is Max. This is Wealthier by the Day, day 4. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned for more. Subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. I appreciate the support. And I really honestly hope this has been helpful, useful information. Because ultimately that is the goal, right? I'm hoping this is useful and people can get something out of this. So anyways, thanks for tuning in late.